So when you go, oh, my husband or my wife, oh, they're just a spender. Can I just ask couples, get to the root of it. Have the hard conversations about why you think differently about finances, because it's not just surface level. And the more you understand each other and you can have empathy for each other, the more you will be able to get on that same page.
Yep.
And you won't have as many disagreements or misunderstandings about why someone's doing something.
Money isn't the root of all evil, the fucking lack of it is.
Not money, the lack of understanding money.
When I put that into emphasis, when I realised that psychological effect and how it hit our family, I FTB all the fucking way.
You are now watching the Money Mentor podcast
With Graham Home.
Graham Holmes.
You're fucking gone. See ya.
Welcome back to another episode of the Money Mentor and the Changing Lives Financially podcast. Two lovely special guests today, Laura and Caleb. How are we?
Good, thanks.
Good, thank you.
Not nervous?
Yep.
A little bit?
Yeah.
As long as a little bit of weed doesn't come out, then we're all good. All right.
Promise.
Promise? I make no promises. Hey, why don't we start with just a bit of background on who you guys are, where you're from, so people understand a bit about you before we start talking money and life and all that sort of stuff.
Yep, sure. Caleb and I met 5.5 years ago. Both had come out of recent divorces. We have 6 kids between us, only 2 of them living at home at the moment.
Okay.
And we work together, live together. So we're painters, so we house painters.
Yeah.
So we're with each other pretty much 24/7.
And you're still happily married?
We are engaged, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah, so it works really well.
Okay.
A lot of people said, oh, no, don't do that. No, it'll destroy your relationship. But it works really well for us.
Yeah, having hard conversations
Yeah.
to work through whatever we're going through is sort of become our passion.
Okay. So instead of getting out of bed in the morning and you had a shit day yesterday and you're cranky, instead of just being grumpy at each other, you just talk through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really simple thing that most people, more people should do.
It's hard, but you got to do it.
Yeah, okay. So 2 of the kids still at home together, running painting business together, so busy lives. Okay. And talk to us about financially pre-infinity. What did life look like? Did we have homes, investments, mortgages, cars? What was the situation financially?
Well, for me, coming out of the divorce, I ended up with a settlement, so no house, which was hard.
Yeah.
When I bought my house, it was $126,000 back in '99. So the prices don't reflect that these days. So
No.
and the money that I came away with was really just a deposit for another house.
Right.
The sort of property that we were looking at, wanting to buy down the track, was sort of was in the millions. So it just wasn't viable at the time.
Right.
At some point, we'd waited. We'd been advised by a friend, wait, time the market, wait, there's going to be interest
Are you still friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
all right. Stay friends, don't do financial advice.
But I always knew it was do it now
Yep.
with property.
Right.
So waiting was really hard for me. But in the meantime, I was doing a lot of hours of research,
Right.
unqualified to do it,
Yep.
but trying to
To
figure
learn at
out
least.
what we could do, what we were capable of financially, doing all the wrong things.
Yeah.
But eventually I was just like, we just have to buy something.
Okay.
So we bought 2 units
Yep.
locally in where we live,
Yep.
within 3 weeks of each other,
Okay.
built in the 1970s and 80s.
Okay.
2 dogs.
So that's what we had when
Something's better than nothing, by the way.
that's
Depends
what
how
I
bad
thought.
it is, but something's
Yeah.
better than nothing.
That's what we thought. We have to get started.
Yep.
We have to do something. So that's sort of where we were, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, we sort of thought by getting cheaper units, it's something that we could pay off quicker
Okay.
and not get ourselves too overcommitted, because one of the things in the beginning of our relationship that I liked was that we were able to travel.
Okay.
So we did a trip to South Island in New Zealand, got a taste for travel. We travelled to Ireland last year.
Nice.
So I didn't want to lose that ability to comfortably be able to travel.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit of a travel bug in there as well. Oh, okay. Okay. And who and when did you first find infinity?
Okay, that was me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did everything in the wrong order, but I did all that research, and then we ended up getting those 2 properties.
Yep.
And then I think somehow I got hold of this book. Am I allowed to say the name of the book?
The Wrong-Footed Investor?
No.
Oh.
It was called The Armchair's Guide to Property Investment.
Oh, yeah.
It was written in 2016 by a couple of Australian guys.
Yeah, decent book.
And I read that book,
Yeah.
even though I knew it was like 8 years old or something.
Yeah.
And 2 things I took from it. One was that every example they gave
Yep.
of all these different, like married with kids, single, whatever, every single one of them had a principal place of residence to use as equity to get started. And I thought, I'm screwed. We don't have that. The other thing it said that I took was that you really need a really good team of experts and you've got to find the right people to help you. Don't just go to any old broker or any old thing because they might just be in it for themselves.
Yep. Yeah, there's experts and there's salespeople and
Right.
there's people that just have jobs.
Right. So then I'm like, oh, how do I find those people? Where do I even start?
Right.
I think I asked around a few people we knew. Has anyone used this type of, qualified person? Got no help.
Right.
And then I think because I'd been trying to do all the study about real estate, at some point on Instagram and Facebook,
Yeah.
Money Mentor Reels started coming up.
Right.
After seeing a few of those, I started to get interested, and then it advertised the webinar.
Free webinar. Yep.
I'm like,
So you were just seeing all the free content pop
right,
up.
all the free content.
And then as you start engaging with that, eventually then you're going to see one of the sponsored or the ads or something. Yeah.
Right. So Caleb was fine to watch the webinar together. So we did that, got interested, signed up for the June Masterclass 2024.
Yep.
Did that, blew our minds.
Right.
Mostly about all the things that we'd done wrong. And we've gone, how many things could we have done wrong? How much do we got to fix?
All of them.
But it was still funny. But and then we decided to join.
So you
Infinity.
paid, applied, June 2024.
Correct.
Yep. Cool.
And then we submitted all our paperwork.
Yep.
And they came back and said, we're very sorry. You're not in the position yet we need you to be in for us to be able to help you the way we want to help you.
Yep.
So
we said no.
Who said no?
We said no.
You said no.
Did you get your money back?
We got our money back within,
Happy days.
very quickly.
Yep.
Um,
Did we tell you what you, did we just did we tell you what you needed to do for us to then be able to help you?
yes.
Obviously, because we're still here, I'm hoping. But I was just checking.
So yes.
So you were, sorry, here's your money back. But
Yeah.
by the way, if you can do A, B, and C, come back and then we could help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're the sort of people like, oh, yeah, or did you go and rip that to pieces?
We went and ripped it to pieces.
Okay.
So we also, something that was really important to Caleb, because I didn't mention, he was a bit skeptical about the whole thing.
Gotcha.
I didn't know, because he just was like, yep, cool, let's go. But in the
you
back of his
just kept
mind,
it secret. You were like, oh, yeah, this guy's a load of shit.
I have an inner cynic, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
but when that refund came through
Yeah.
and that explanation, that spoke volumes to us
Okay.
and to Caleb, because it's like these people don't just want to take our money.
Well, if we kept the money and pretended we could help you like the average business, it would have ended in tears, tiaras, and tantrums. If we can't help you, we shouldn't take the money. But
That's right.
if we could help you if a few things changed, kind of got an obligation to go, and we're very good at this, to go, hey, here's your money back, but if you can just do A, B, and C, we'd love to then, and then we could do all of this for you.
Yep.
That's why our business has grown exponentially, because we don't just say no, fuck off. It's like, hey, not right now, but not no. And if it's no, we'll say no too and go, guys, fuck, you're too far gone. So I don't know. I think that's how a business should be run. A bit like you quoting a job and going, you know what, we can't do that job. That's not where we're resi and that's commercial, or you need a crew of 20 and we've got 5. We can't do that. You just be honest and go, look, I think the job's 200 grand, but we don't. It would take us twice as long as somebody else. We're not big enough to do that.
Yeah.
So like, you just got to be honest with people.
Yeah.
That's all.
And it's not the only time you gave our money back. When we signed up to do the next masterclass, Laura was that keen that she paid straight away before we spoke to anyone. And then we found out we didn't have to pay to come and do it again.
Because you'd been through the process just recently, yeah.
Yeah.
So then they just
gave our money back
refunded it
again.
for that. So yeah, I was surprised because by that time it had been 11 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just thought, well, we just pay again.
Yeah. Depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
So typically if somebody does the masterclass, within the first 3 months, we won't worry about charging them again. We'll do all sorts of stuff for them. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it depends on what we've told you to do. If we've told you to do a series of things and we've got an assessment there and it's within the next year or so, like sometimes we won't, sometimes we will. Sometimes people need to, because what they need to go and do is an entire different assessment.
Right.
In your case, you had to go off and sell an old dog or two and really just clear some debt and start again.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much of a new assessment for you guys as much as we'd already done the assessment and said, you're here, you need to go and drop yourself to here, and then we can get you to here. So it was very clean, right? That assessment still stood. You just had to go take some actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're all just about the money, to
You're not
us,
giving money back all the time.
we could have, you could have just kept that money and we wouldn't have known any difference. So that sort of, it was just another step away from being a cynic, I suppose.
Right. It helps.
Yeah.
Helps build trust, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit of ethics and morals in business. It gives you a bit more comfort, I guess. It's good, and I don't get to know all of that too. So it's good that the team are doing that. You know, I don't know everything as an owner.
Yeah.
So it's good. Okay. So explain to people what we had going on then when we said no. So what properties did we have? What debts did we have? What was the situation then?
Okay.
And then what did we say to you to go and do?
We had the 2 really old units in unit blocks on strata. We had those. We had about 120k savings. We didn't have any bad debt. We didn't have any credit cards because we just didn't have that. We didn't have any toys to sell.
Okay.
So no boat, caravan, motorbikes, any of that.
So renting
Yep.
and the 2 old units. Okay.
And we didn't, so they wanted us to get our savings up a bit.
Yep.
Wanted I think they said our super could do to be a little bit more, so give it a bit more time. And we sold one of the units
Yep.
to pay off the other one.
Yep.
And we got a bit extra
Right.
from that as well. So that we had no actual mortgages at all. And then we had this paid off.
And now, like the book you were talking about, that you noticed everyone had an asset to leverage, which was typically their home. So what we'd suggested is, you got 2 old dogs. Okay, don't necessarily get rid of both of them because you just bought them. Let's sell one to clear the other and get your cash balances up, which you did. So sell one, clear the debt, have one there that you can use its equity, and you got some cash in the bank, and then we can help you. Okay. How long did it take you to achieve that?
11 months.
11 months. Okay. And then you came back.
Yeah.
Started again.
Yeah.
Okay. So for everyone listening at home, 2 properties, 2 sort of bit of mortgage on both, some cash. Sell one, clear all the debt, cash in the bank, debt-free unit in regional area.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we have today?
We have 4 investment properties.
Including the old one?
Yeah, including the old
So
one.
3 fresh properties a year on, did all that, 11 months. Now 3 fresh investment properties plus the old dog.
Yes.
How's that feel?
Weird.
Weird.
Unbelievable. Like, how did it happen?
Okay.
How did we have capacity for that? Like,
Mind blowing.
yeah.
Well, we created the capacity because instead of just getting the debts on the old dogs and not really having a structure, you got structure now. Do you understand your structure? You know clearly what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It doesn't feel real.
Not really.
You should.
It just feels like how was that able to happen when you don't think that you can achieve that? Yeah, I remember when I came out of my divorce, single mum, and I was on a very average, I was on 60 something K a year, and I thought I will never own a property in Australia.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. I can't save fast enough. I'll never get there. Granted, I was on my own at that time, and since meeting Caleb, within 6 months of our relationship, we set a challenge to start a savings account, and we were competing against each other to see how much we could save. And I would say within
Separate savings?
together.
Together, right. Okay.
Yep. And we managed to save about 70K in about 12 months.
Wow.
And we were at that time living in separate residences, paying separate rents
Wow.
and bills. And I don't really know how we did it, but we did it.
Well done.
And then we were like, okay, what are we doing with? And then he got the settlement from the divorce. We had about maybe 280, 290 something. And we were like, okay, now we have to do something.
That's
with
what you
this.
put into the units, the
Yes.
savings and the settlement.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, thinking that you'll never own a property in Australia. I'm a Kiwi, by the way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is my 20-year anniversary of living in Australia.
Oh, well, then you're practical.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah.
But yeah, thinking you'll never do that, and then all of us, somehow you've got 4 investment properties, and you're on track to one day, have your own place, and just a future worth,
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the hardest? Well, actually, I'll go back a step. Why, after masterclass, were you guys so committed to come back to us? So, from everything you've heard, you could have went, "Oh yeah, cool. I'll just keep the 2 old dogs," or we'll go see someone else now. Why back to us?
Community.
Okay.
After my divorce, I did 3 years of counselling, and sort of one of the principles that I learnt in that process was, show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Right.
So the community that you have built here,
Yeah.
it's hard to find people on the same page trying to get ahead like you are. So trying to find friends that are on the same path, we're finding sort of near impossible.
Yeah.
And then, joining the community, everyone's on the same path.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different path, but they're all, pushing the same way. So it was energising.
So was that just from the you just felt that from the masterclass really alone?
I think we probably started watching some of these podcasts after the rejection.
After the
rejection.
Trying to pick up a little, how do we...
Yeah. But we just had that good feeling probably just because of the honesty, the integrity of like saying, we can't help you right now,
Yeah.
go and do this. It just felt real and just it gave me confidence
Okay.
that it was the right company, the right business to help us.
Okay.
So
And then, so when you did come back, what did you find the hardest thing in the process? What was difficult about, going into budgets and food fuel funds and buying investments and doing loans, and what was hard in the process if someone was tuning in and go, oh yeah, this all sounds great, but I bet you it's fucking super annoying and you got to do all this crap and you got to go without and blah, 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 blah.
I think the paperwork
Oh, that's terrible. I mean, nobody really likes paperwork, let's be clear.
Excuse me, you found the paperwork hard. I'm the one who did it all.
Oh, shit.
It was hard watching you go through it, baby.
Oh, what an answer.
He's very supportive.
That was a great answer. It was so hard watching you doing all the paperwork. I like that.
I suppose watching her go through all the paperwork, like we do a physical job, we come home,
Yep.
you're exhausted, and then initially, I suppose because we had 3 properties coming through, there was a lot, and it was overwhelming to watch.
Yeah.
And try and help, but Laura's, to her credit, is far more on top of all that sort of stuff than what I am, and she understood it better, and she loved it. But at the same time, coming home and being exhausted.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want to do. Dotting I's and crossing T's and making sure it's dated correctly and.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It was for a good cause.
Yeah.
Laura's always been very, very good at budgeting. She's got a spreadsheet that I can't understand, and she would update it 2 or 3 times a day sometimes.
Okay.
I think in my early days I used to budget well. My whole wage would come in and go out, and I'd prepay bills. And then I sort of hit a phase where I realised, my financial commitments weren't so big, so I could treat the kids a bit more. And I suppose I sold myself that story that we deserved it because we'd got into the housing market early.
Yeah.
And we could afford it. If I knew back then what I knew now, who knows how far ahead we could have been.
Yeah, okay.
It brings me to a point. When we met, I was single mum, not wanting to live week to week. So I was strictly budgeting.
Right.
Caleb didn't have a budget,
Okay.
and I just didn't get it. And I think you were proud of what I could do with my limited income and my budgeting, but we couldn't sort of come to that.
Eye to eye on budget.
Yeah,
no
we
budget,
couldn't
half
come to
budget.
that. It took lots of conversations over a long period of time and understanding, and it kind of brings me to a point. When you hire or when you take on clients and you talk about, okay, both partners have to be on board, you have to be on the same page. So I think there's a lot more to it than that. I think it's not just about being on the same page. I think, look at it as that you each are a book, and your early chapters of your book in your childhood, things in your family and your upbringing influence how you feel, how you think about finances and money. And it could be like, I'll just throw out an example. Say it's a kid from a poor family, goes to school in the secondhand clothes, can't buy lunches, the other kids notice, there's rejection. That kid can then maybe grows up and thinks, okay, I've got to have the nice clothes, the nice car, I want to be accepted by society, spends money like, doesn't save, it's just all about like...
Impress everyone, buy friends.
Everyone, be accepted, right? So when you go, oh, my husband or my wife, oh, they're just a spender. Can I just ask couples, get to the root of it. Have the hard conversations about why you think differently about finances, because it's not just surface level. And the more you understand each other and you can have empathy for each other, the more you will be able to get on that same page.
Yep.
And you won't have as many disagreements or misunderstandings about why someone's doing something.
Well, once you can understand, you're a bit more compassionate and empathetic, but you can also help guide them to move away from that with compassion and understanding, as opposed to, you're a fucking idiot, why would you do that? Why? And well, why would you fucking do that? Well, because you're polar opposites, right? But you're right, and I talk about this, it's the psychology of money. It's so much deeper. It's exactly like me with the Christmas appeal.
Yep.
because of my childhood.
Yep.
It's exactly like me because mum's first marriage. My stepdad told me I'd amount to nothing and I wouldn't own a home and blah, blah. Like all of the things that were, the more you throw at me, the bigger and better I get. You know, it's like I actually absorb that energy and I turn it into something. Might take me a couple of years, but boy, will I turn it into something. Whereas some people, you throw something at them, it hurts them. So I think when you understand, then you can actually help each other. You're right. And then it becomes a team.
Yeah.
But there is a much deeper seated why we act the way we do or do not financially for every human being on the planet. And it's all psychology and emotion. It's not financial acumen, it's psychology and emotion.
100%. That's exactly what I was wanting to say. So be patient with each other and just talk about it, figure it out. It's not just, oh, he's a saver and I'm a spender.
And that's why when we say you got to be on the same, be prepared to get in a boat. And when we say stroke, you row. When we say stroke, you row. And you might not be on the same, but that third party, that media, say, hey, this is what should happen. These are the numbers you've told us. And yes, those numbers will give you this result. They're your numbers. They will give you this result. But you now both agree to row the boat.
Yeah. And so when we had to do the budget, the FFF, food, fuel and fun, we were like Caleb was doing a lot better with the whole budget thing and, you know, but we still weren't really set. So when we had that conversation with our relationship manager about setting that, he was on board. Finally, after all these like conversations and years of getting it closer, but not quite there.
I don't know. It's like when he was a skeptic, but he didn't tell you. Maybe when he said, he's like, fuck this, but I'll give it a crack.
It's a slow transition. Like Laura never really judged me, so when you don't necessarily believe you can do it, and you're fighting against the preconceived ideas you have from your childhood or you know, your earlier years, not being judged allows you to sort of learn and come out of where you are and reevaluate why you think the way you do.
Yeah, you could also then form your own new beliefs or your new habits because you're not being judged. It allows you to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ability for us to grow within our relationship has been next level.
I love it.
We still struggle. We still have hard conversations and we still get upset with each other, but we come back to, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
How do we get through this together? And the conversations, I suppose, get harder because you get deeper into the psychology of why you think that way.
Yeah.
And there's so many things you start to break down. You go, well, I've been doing that for a long time. When you can break down your triggers and understand why, you can start to let them go.
What would you say some of the biggest learnings you've had, each of you or jointly, some of the biggest learnings from, webinar to masterclass to here today? What are some of the learnings you could share for people at home on that journey? Because, obviously you do masterclass, you either go, nah, this guy's a dickhead, or fuck, I've been doing it all wrong. And thousands of people every year acknowledge, shit, we can do better, we're doing it wrong. But what are some of the key takeaways? Some big wins, small wins or big wins? It's easy to say budget. Everyone says, oh, but you're a great budgeter before. You were buying the kids everything, didn't want a budget. You've obviously come together and budget's become a joint new cool thing. But anything else along the way you think, oh, shit, yeah. You've got to, one thing I'm picking up here for you guys is really strong open communication in a relationship. That will actually filter into everything, into budgets and investments and health and wealth and kids and friends. That's a core thing. There's an energy for you guys of open, clear communication. Good day, bad day. Let's talk through it. Let's work through it, not judge each other. I'm getting that from you. I'm learning that from you guys, which is cool for people to listen to and watch.
Yep.
But what else?
I think for me, one of an important learning is when I talked about all those hours I spent researching and trying to figure out how to do this
Yeah.
and not really getting anywhere, if I calculated all those billable hours at my rate, it would have probably more than paid to join Infinity and have a team of qualified, experienced professionals who know exactly what they're doing. Just let the baker bake. But also,
It's a good summary. It's true because everybody's worried about something being wrong, rot, rip-off, scam, whatever. Well, you can do a little bit, a couple of hours of free information can be enough. But at some point you go, that all makes sense. It's mathematically correct. Pay the expert. Going and doing hundreds of hours or weeks of it, you're not going to process and understand it at a high level like the advisor. You're not licensed. There's a point where you have to give yourself over to somebody. And there's going to be some trust, but there's also going to be some information and some documents and some licensing in place. But you're right. If you tallied that up to the jobs you guys could have been doing, you'd be in the red.
and also don't wait. Like, not don't wait. Obviously, take your time, think it through before you make the decision. But, yeah, all that research, all that studying. I read this quote the other day, and it said, you learn to swim by getting in the water, not by studying the water.
It's a good one.
I think people hold off and I'll just get a little bit more information. I'll get a bit more information. I need to learn a bit more. But is that actually just fear holding you back? At what point do you actually go, okay, I've taken in all the information. I'm still not really getting anywhere. I've just got to actually do it.
It's a good one, Humber. Very, very wise words. Okay. What would you tell couples at home that are listening to this going, oh, okay, we're similar to these people. We look and feel similar ages, and we've been married and divorced too, and blended families. And yeah, we work with each other, want to kill each other most days as well. But what words of wisdom have you got for them around managing money and communicating and do you talk openly about money in the household these days? And in front of the kids or not in front of the kids?
The kids are at ages where you kind of have to sow seeds, but not much more than that because, young people kind of know everything already.
Yeah, so don't we always when we're young?
Tell them too much. But I think we've seen some actions from some of the kids that have shown that they are listening to little bits and pieces.
Right.
Or they're watching us and going,
Yeah, they tend to watch and see if, that looks cool. Oh, they've done well. And they start to mimic a little bit. They won't do what you tell them to do, but they'll definitely start imitating the things they think look okay.
But we've had to talk to them about the budget getting lower. Because when the kids are used to you get a certain expectation when something is away for a long time. And then when it changes, they're like, wait, what? What? We used to have a budget of $300 or $400 per kid for Christmas.
Right.
It's 50 this year.
Okay.
You got to somehow explain that to them.
But they'll be well fed and you'll have an amazing time with family and create, because that's a big one. People keep talking and say if you ask your kids a year later, they don't know what they got unless it's an Xbox or some garbage. These toys and they don't remember but they remember that they were at Nan and Pop's in the pool or at the beach or the cousins were there. They remember the moments and the memories that you create, but they don't tend to remember a lot of the stuff that they're given or the rubbish that it's cool and hype, yo-yos. I mean, I'm showing my age here, but yo-yos are cool this year. And 3 months later, yo-yos aren't cool. Spinning tops are cool. I'm showing my age, but it's just an attempt at an example. But I find it funny that when I talk about, don't buy your kids the stuff you never had, teach them the things that you were never taught. And sometimes people think it's got to be a direct lesson, but kids actually learn a lot better from indirect because they watch you and they listen to you and they absorb it all. They're such sponges, and then they'll, oh, that's crap. That was dicky, or that look. But the good things, like you see, they start to, oh, okay, well, we're going to do this, and they'll absorb those things if they think they're beneficial. It's interesting, right? Whereas the direct lesson, they're like, you don't tell me what to do. I'm a teenager. I know everything about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going through the divorce stage has taught us a lot of lessons. And you sort of see the kids suffering, you want to take that away, but yeah, letting them learn, just being there, holding that space for them, sowing seeds rather than
You must do.
yeah, my truth is right for me.
Yeah.
My answers are right for me, but they need to find their own.
Yeah.
They need to find what works for them.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me because I'm a bit of a over-explainer. Kids have always known me to be very talkative.
Okay.
But in my trade, that's sort of part of what I do. I'm going into someone's house. They're quite often not there when we're painting. They need to be able to trust.
Yeah.
So that's part of my job, to sort of show who I am.
Yeah.
So when people say I overshare, I think it's just part of being vulnerable and letting people into a little part of me so that they can see who they're getting to come into,
They're comfortable and not in your home.
change their house.
Yeah. And is your advice right? And can you be left in their home? And
Yeah. It's a big thing to leave someone in your home, your castle.
yeah.
Massive. So, yeah, it's sort of just been, in my trade, it's suffered a lot because everyone thinks that they can paint. And everybody can, but not the way I do it. So.
I don't know. Most people can't colour between the fucking lines in school, so I don't know why they think they can paint their house, let alone tape a straight edge or even tape the edge.
Yeah.
But we've got these fucking TV shows of the blocks and renos and backyards and all this fucking shit.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Oh, on it. Well, Beck's auntie, but I guess my uncle, her partner, he's a old school, and he does amazing work, but it's just him. He's on his own. He's not quick. He's methodical. He's detailed. High quality trades work, right?
Yeah.
And you can't get him. To get him to quote, he probably hasn't ever down past Port Macquarie, and he wouldn't have a job he could do for the next year. He got a year's worth of work because everyone knows him. And he's methodical, takes pride in his work, all that sort of stuff. He's trusted, and that these days is disappearing fast. We're losing apprentices. They don't want to do apprenticeship. They're a year one and they think they got a van now and they got a brush and a pot. Fuck, they can open their own company. They got a mobile phone. Look out. That no one's prepared to experience the challenges and how to overcome them and how to rectify that and what happens there. And I actually feel sad that trades seem to be dying, but I also am fucking absolutely confident that being a tradesman or woman is going to be the new multi-millionaire, etc. in the future, because it's just a dying breed.
Yeah.
Absolute dying breed, which is really sad.
The saying that you say that I like is let the baker bake. When Laura and
Paint to paint.
Yeah, that's it. When Laura and I started working together and looking at how well we could do, I got all excited, thinking, we've got two people working towards the same goal. This is exciting. And then I did the maths and I'm going, well, we still really can't afford to do what, we wanted to do. So what sparked the interest for me with Infinity, even with my early cynic, was there's an opportunity. No guts, no glory. Like going in and going, well, I've already been to the point where I've lost everything. I can get back to where I am tomorrow. So even if it is a cult and you take all my money, I can get it back again.
I want the benefit. Shouldn't I like not have to pay tax if we're a registered cult or some weird cool thing? Oh god.
It started to give me hope
Yeah.
that it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah. Takes time.
But I can do what I do,
Mm.
and if you do what you do, in 10 years' time I can have choices.
Choice is the big one. Mm.
I just want to add to that as well as choices, like having the budget, following the process, having been able to get, that we've got 60K in savings. Because we work for ourselves, if we don't show up to work,
Yep.
we don't get paid,
Yep.
right?
Part of that's your holiday pay, sick pay. That's your emergency fund.
Right.
Somebody doesn't pay a bill, client doesn't pay.
But also that having that 60K, it's more than money. It's actually time and peace. And I'll explain this. Sorry. So, 2 weeks ago, my mum had a stroke. She's in Westmead Hospital. Her speech and memory have been affected. We don't know the process of how the rehabilitation will go. It might be great, it might be slow, it might not be anything, but the point being of what I wanted to say, we were able to take some time off.
Yeah.
Not be focused on, oh crap, we're not working, we're losing income. But be able to be focused where the focus needed to be, which is family. And by being with Infinity and following this process and getting to where we are and having that safety net, when something like this happens, which it happens in life, we're not the only people this kind of thing happens to.
Yep.
Stuff happens all the time. It puts you in that position of not having to feel that pressure and stress that people who are living week to week or month to month would have.
Yep.
And you can just focus on your family and being there for everyone, and that's priceless.
I appreciate the rawness and the honesty, because that's what fills us up and all of the team, because it's not a job for everyone here. It's to know that you message your team and go, oh, we've got to do this and we've got to do that. It's like, it's all good. It's fine. Let your clients know you won't be on site this week. Focus on mum. And I think that people really need to understand what you're explaining there, because you used a really critical word. It's not just choice, it's peace. Because anyone else wouldn't be able to leave work, or if they left that first day, they're demanded to be back at work, or they have to be back at work. To have that peace and financial stability to just take that time is so important for people. And I don't think people understand enough that most people in Australia, America, Western civilization, if they have an emergency, they're not in that position. They don't have that peace. It becomes stress. It compounds the actual health concern and the family concern. So to hear that is fucking music to my ears, because that says we're doing our job, but you're doing your part of our job, because you have to do what we ask you to do. We have to do what we tell you we can do. And that team, that partnership, not just hey, we've sold you something, that partnership gives you that peace, that space, that buffer. So that's music to my ears, because it means everything we're doing and everything we said we would do is working to be in that position.
Absolutely.
Because if it wasn't, you'd be fucked.
Yep.
You'd be still on the tools, freaking out and calling the hospital every hour.
Yep.
Even Even, in the event if you need to do something and mum's like, oh, I need this. You're like, yep, cool, I'll pay for that, no problem. I'm going through it right now. My mum, teeth. She's got to get actually, I think hockey ball hit her when she was young. She played hockey. So she's always had, I guess you call them falsies. Even at a young age, I remember mum had plates or whatever you call it. And her teeth have been done and done and done. And she rang the other day and she was freaking out. She got a quote and it was like 60 grand for the cheapest and 80 grand for the best. She has to have, I think they knock you out and put, in the gums, they put...
rods.
They have to implant, and screw them in and put fate and all that. And you're talking gazillions, 60, 80 grand. I'm like, and she spoke, she was like, oh, hey, I'm just letting you know. And I'm like, cool, but I want you to go see my guy because I trust him and he fixed my teeth from when I had it. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go and get a quote. I said, no, just go in, get him to look at it, and just book it in. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, just book it in.
That's
Tell him to send me the bill.
Yeah.
And it's these daily simple little financial traits and structures that we can teach and people can learn for free even, that if you follow these steps, you're in that space for peace and time and no stress. Not no stress, but less. The core focus there should be mum. And that's what you've been able to do. So that's music to my ears.
And what you just said there, that us being able to get to that was from the free info. That what we learned to get there, that was from the free webinar, the free information. So if you do the webinar and you learn from it and you don't decide to go any further and spend any money, you can get to that point. And that you doing that, you educating people for free that can change their life shows the heart that you have, and this is more than a business.
Oh, that's our little community champion award every year, because I know there's another gazillion brokers out there that are just as smart as me that withhold their expertise and knowledge and only share it in a one-on-one consultation in the hope of earning money. Well, I just think they're probably too scared to put themselves out there. You don't want to necessarily put yourself out there like I have over the years and have every idiot and troll with an opinion. And also maybe they're scared, but they have so much knowledge. They just need to be prepared to share it with the world and let people benefit. And you know what? When you give more for free, unconditionally, you end up with more paying clients anyway because of that generosity. So I really appreciate the rawness and the honesty, and that fills me up, because that's a big tick of forget the money. If we're doing that and you guys are able to get to that position, that helps me sleep really well at night. So well done. Now, we're going to do a part 2 to this, because it's really cool for people to go, hey, okay, started your journey, we said no, handed the money back, told you what to do, you came back, we reset, we're on our way, we've got a couple of properties now, we're doing really well. It's always good then to go, cool, what's it look like in 6 months or 12 months' time? And where to from here? What's the next big picture goal?
22, isn't it?
21. Well, plus GST, you can call it 22, 23, whatever you like. But so that would be really, really important to get you back again, if that's okay. But I'm curious if you've got any questions for me today before we wrap up.
What finally did it for me was going to REM. Something that I've lived by for a long time, which is in service to others, you find life's true calling.
Yep.
And the more I've seen of you, the more I get the feeling this isn't a business.
No, it's not a business. I mean, it is, but it's a passion project.
I feel like, you live that same as I do.
Thank you.
I found when I did, when the kids were younger, they were all in Scouts and just going along and being a helper.
Yep.
Rather than they used to call it a tail light parent. Some, parents drop their kids off to just get, have a bit of time out. For me, it was about being able to spend time seeing them grow. Taking them on camps and being just a helper. The satisfaction that I got from just sitting there while they're out doing their activities, not sitting at home, not on their iPads, not on their computers, creating real memories. That filled me right up.
Mm.
And it's something we actually looked at doing in the future, going on jamborees just to help out.
Mm.
And seeing you at REM in person and getting just more of that.
Mm.
I suppose the question is, well, I suppose I've taken the answer away from you.
No, keep going.
Yeah, well, do you think you live your life like that?
Yeah. Look, I work pretty much every weekend, but I don't consider what I do work, you know, and sometimes I get one day off and I work 20, 30 days straight, whether it's on the business, in the business, at events, and you guys have experienced and seen it. A lot of big events, you know, the speaker they come and they disappear really quickly. I'm kind of there from sun up to sundown, bar a shower and a change and a meal, and it's very quick. And then, you know, there's times when I'm there from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and sometimes I'm like, shit, I haven't spoken to enough people yet. I'm up at the after party until somebody spills a drink on me or spits when they talk, and then I'm like, I'm fucking going home, you know. And it doesn't take me much to set me off after a 12, 14-hour day. But I very much, and Beck as well, we made a decision, a very conscious decision in 6 months of discussions to this wouldn't just be a business, that it was a passion project, that it would always be built so big and so impactful and so global that it could be sold, but we never wanted to sell it.
Yeah.
And we said that from day one, and everyone's knocked on the door and everyone's tried to write a check, and we're not interested because it will change the community and it'll be run by bean counters and it won't be hampers and gifts and events, and you know, it just be very different. You know, the office wouldn't look this pretty, you know, all that sort of stuff. So we live and breathe it. We made that decision. We wanted to build something that wasn't here for a season. It was here for a reason, but it was here as a legacy play as well. And I always think I'm a bit of a weirdo. I think a lot about, heaps of people hate me because I'm pretty out there and I'm pretty, you know, opinionated, but I can back it up. And I don't worry about that because they're not part of my vibe and tribe. But I always think about, if I walked outside today after this and got hit by a bus, who would come to my funeral and what would they say? Or people who actually know me and have spent more than an hour or two with me, what do they say about me when I'm not in the room? And the good things that people will say about me far trump 20 or 30 people that have never met me that could have an opinion on me. So I like to very much live my life. And I say to people, I was a shit bloke when I was younger and this and that, but for many, many years and every single day, I just try to be 1% better, whether it's do more steps now for my health, whether it's eat a little bit cleaner, whether it's give a bit more to charity. It could be spend more time with Beck now because we've spent so long focusing on the business. But I'm very focused on my growth as a human being and the business. And you probably noticed I'm slowly taking a back seat in the company. You'll see more of Rachel at Masterclass. I only run part of it. It's Rachel mostly. REMS, there's a lot of other team on stage now, not just me. And you'll see in a lot of the marketing and the reels and the posts, and you see all the awards. I haven't been in an award for ages. I could do what some businesses do. I could put everybody's numbers through as me, and I'd be the biggest in Australia. Zero interest. So I've gone from somebody who actually was fairly egocentric many, many years ago and pushed that away to make it more about everybody else, that contribution, that legacy. And that's how I now choose to live my life. And it's very interesting that the more I focus on others and just making sure I'm getting a bit better every day in as many aspects as possible, man, am I living in abundance. It's fucking weird because the more I'm doing for other people and having 5 people as a finalist and succeeding and having somebody get promoted from this role to that role and helping Taryn the other week get her first home after fucking 6 or like all these little acts of service that I'm focused on, I can't explain how vibrant and aggressive they come back positively. Like I'm talking fire height. Now you do the wrong thing, it'll come back just as violent and aggressive. But yeah, I'm really focused on the short answer. Absolutely focused on that from when I get up every day to when I go to bed every night, to make sure that I live and breathe that ethos of what we built. And it's not a business; it's passion.
Yeah.
It's pure. we have the ability mathematically to show someone how to get from A to Z. But it's up to them to do it. And if they do it, happy days. If they don't, doesn't change my life. If they do, changes their life. So yeah, in answer to you, it's every single day.
Yeah.
Until it's not.
Yeah.
Because I will retire early. Because I can stop now.
Yeah.
You know, as we have a family, hopefully next year things start to change. Well, yeah, I will, you know, probably another couple of years for me. But that's it.
Yeah.
Then I'll step back into business owner, not operator, and I'll focus on family. That's why I've gone so hard, so fast. That was always the plan. We said, spend 10 to 15 years of our life like no one on the planet's prepared to. Miss weddings, miss birthdays, miss whatever. And then we'll spend the rest of our life like no one else could believe possible. And we got there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you've done an amazing job.
thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else you want to pick my brain on?
I don't think so. Yeah. We're just incredibly grateful to have come across you and Beck and Infinity Group, and just love being part of the community. So we're just, incredibly grateful.
We appreciate you guys sharing and being so open and honest, and make sure you get to all the community events if you're free, and get to the Chrissy party, and
Yeah.
you can't get to Kmart and Salvos, and just keep being you and doing what you're doing, and you'll keep seeing the results. Well done.
I went to the Salvation Army when I was a kid
Yeah,
for about 8 years
So
to
did
the
I.
actual church.
so did I. That's what,
And
as a kid, grandparents were very, very devout Catholic.
right.
But mum, I guess you call it baptism or whatever it is, Christian. I was a Salvos kid
Yeah.
at Tarrawanna in Wollongong. Got the certificate in a little folder still.
Yeah.
So I was a Salvos kid.
And they did so much good work even
Yeah.
back then, and it was cool to be a part of. Even I was a kid, I was like 11 to 18 or something. But we even got to be a part of stuff that they did
Yeah.
back then, and it was awesome. So it's close to my heart as
Pretty
well.
powerful. There's a lot of good people in the world still.
Yeah.
A little bit on topic, a little bit off topic, but every morning when I wake up, I get have a cold shower. Or if my cold plunge is working, which it's got a leak in at the moment, I need to fix, I'll get into a cold plunge for 4 or 5 minutes. But I practice gratitude
Yep.
in that. And I think coming down the path that we have out of divorce, you've got a second chance to do things differently. And just wanting to be a better dad, better partner, getting to set that example for your kids, just doing little things like opening car doors, and just showing the kids how it should be. Is sort of my my way of living now.
Well done.
And putting trolleys back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just little things, you know. Give up a seat if you're on public transport for somebody, or there's a lot of things that don't happen anymore that should, that have just disappeared. We're all running our own race, so yeah, I think those are the little, you know, they cost nothing to be nice, and those little gestures and acts of service. I mean, shit, carry an old person's groceries out to the car for them and pop them in the boot. Just some simple things. It's easy to be nice, you know.
Yeah, we came up last night, obviously, and went out for dinner. And we stopped at Woolies on the way back to the accommodation. And Laura found a trolley in the middle of the street, so pushed it in.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Good on you.
taking it to the next level.
Good on you. I love it. Well, thanks for sharing, guys. And everyone stay tuned for episode 2 in 6 to 12 months at some point in time. And keep being amazing human beings.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
You fucking gone. See ya.